Hi, my name is Yannick, and here's another not an episode to keep us through the COVID period. So, I'll be talking on a very touchy subject, something very personal to me today. So, recently, there's been a trend on Twitter about rape, and there's a whole spectrum. We're talking about rape, coercion, manipulation, and guys are beginning to ask questions like, when do we actually know when no is no? When do we know when she's actually trying to just be decent, but deep down she wants it, and stuff like that? So I'll be touching on those a little bit. But first, let me start by saying there was a tweet this morning that embodied everything that I want to say. It was talking about relearning a lot of things about rape and its culture. So here goes. I want us to learn and relearn as well. First, let me start by saying that I'm the very stereotype of a woman who's been abused and raped. And I was way young when this happened. And it's been something that I hold dear to myself. It's like my personal experiences, like my personal wound that I tend to tend alone. I do not want to share this experience with anybody else. I just want to deal with it myself. But let's start by saying that rape is a very painful and inhumane thing to do to a man or a woman. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should have to have sex without wanting to. And it goes way beyond sex. It goes beyond penetration. It goes beyond all of that. Sometimes you touch someone inappropriately when they do not want to be touched. That's rape. When you abuse someone psychologically, say hurtful things to them, that's a form of abuse in itself. A woman comes to your house, you understand that you're just friends, you guys went out for a drink or two, you bring her back to your house in the middle of the night, pressuring her to have sex with you when you know she has nowhere to go. That is rape. Getting a drunk girl at a club, taking her back to your car and sleeping with her because you know she can't push you off or she can't do anything, she's way drunk, that is rape. But sometimes, there are fences or there are grey areas, so to say, or we like to say that there are grey areas. And that's where men do not even know that what they are doing is wrong, and they sincerely are not even aware of the dangers they are causing the other party. So something happened around last year. A cousin of mine, I had not seen him in years. He came home and he asked me to lunch. It was just impromptu. I had to go to lunch with him. And we're in the car. And he broached the subject of rape. He asked me, like he knew I'd been molested, apparently. He read an article I wrote about it on my blog. And I didn't know that any of my family members read that thing. But he talked about it with me, and it was a very uncomfortable discussion, but it brought me so much healing. And I hope he listens to this podcast too, because it's a lifesaver. He talked to me about it, and he wanted to understand how women felt when these things happened to them. He wanted to know at what point do you guys not enjoy this? At what point does this thing bring pain to you? He asked these questions that no other guy has ever asked me. Some people understand the pain and anger I feel when I broach the subject of rape. But no one has asked me, how does this thing cause you pain? In particular, sex is supposed to bring pleasure. So why is it bringing you pain? So I went through the whole rigors of explaining to him how when you're young, penetration is not what you're really expecting. And the person's face, the mannerisms and everything involved, how it just brings you pain and it causes you a painful memory. And then he told me something. He told me about the first person he had sex with in his life. How she was much older than him, and in fact she was a family member. And he just said this thing to me, and he said to me, like, after that experience with this woman, he started seeing sex as a pleasurable thing on both sides. So he couldn't fathom the fact that at that time it could bring someone pain through having sex with her. So it was foreign to him. And when he met up, this is someone that was not accused of doing anything. He was just telling me this thing by himself. And he was telling me of how he probably had sex with his maids when they were younger, or some other things, or some other people, that it wasn't like he toasted person per se, yes, let's sleep with each other. But he's a guy, we just go to her, touch her, and then we sleep with her. And he was asking me, like, do you think those things were painful to those people? Or do you think, like, was that rape? And I started answering so many of his questions, and we're talking about it. And I now understood that this guy honestly didn't know. I'm not saying he ever forced anybody to sleep with him, but like I said, he must have touched one woman one way or the other and made her feel like we just have to do this thing. And he didn't understand that through sex, it could be bringing someone pain. So I explained everything to him. He's a big man now, he's married and all. But he still asked these questions because he honestly wanted to know, like, so he was reminiscing and saying to himself that when they were young boys and all that, apparently most of he and his mates must have done something wrong at one time or the other to a woman, but they didn't even know that what they were doing was wrong, because the first experiences they had with sex was wrong to start with. And so that is where unlearning and relearning comes in, because he has to unlearn that idea of sex brings pleasure to everybody now. So this woman came to me, so every other woman I go to she's probably getting pleasure from it. And he has to now relearn how to make sure that he doesn't do it again, he doesn't perpetuate it, and he doesn't teach another generation to think it is normal. That's my cousin, a very perfect example of someone who didn't know something and had to know it, and had to ask and had to learn it. So, my cousin did that. But so many men do not still understand the spectrum, or when they're beginning to fall out of line, or where the gray areas are. So I'm going to say something to you. Basically, you don't have to force a woman, push her down, tear her clothes, and force your way in to rape someone. If you have a friend, you guys went out to drink, and she comes over to your place, she's high, and you sleep with her because she's tugging at your shirt or something, my brother, that's rape. If you're the kind of person that gives someone money and then she comes to your place and in the middle of the night start disturbing her, like, why will you come here, collect money from me and I don't want to do it? She's like, no, don't do it, I don't want to, I really don't want to. And you're like, where do you not want to go this night? And then somehow you make her do it. That's rape. And why I say that is this: coercion, manipulation. I don't want to add begging to it, because begging is a whole different thing. When you beg someone, beg. If you are begging and crying, I think you shouldn't even have the sex again if you have to beg for it. It's very unsightly. So, if you have to coerce, manipulate, lie, trick, force, put fear into someone so that the person sleeps with you, then you're perpetrating a bad thing. Whatever you are doing is a bad thing. That's where we should begin from. If you have to do all of this just to sleep with someone, lie, trick her, manipulate, tell stories, force her a little bit, push her a little bit, make her sleep with you, then it's wrong and it shouldn't be fun. When it gets to that point, my brother, just find a way to gratify yourself by yourself. Leave her out of it. Anything that is not consent, that is not, we are feeling ourselves and we are doing it. And now I understand that some women, I'm not a guru, I don't understand how all women think, but I know how I think. If a woman comes to your place and she has been leading you on, she has been sending you raunchy photos and all of that, and she comes to your place and she's like, no, wait, for your own sake, not because she's okay. In this case, I feel like she's not normal. If she has been leading you on, sending you funny photos, comes to your house, you've been touching her, her top is off, and then she says, no, I don't want to do it, I think she's not okay. But for your own sake, please stop. You don't know what she's going through. You don't know what is going on in her mind. I don't know too. I'm just saying, like, it's something I wouldn't do. But if she does that, that's on her. Please leave her alone. Go and wank. Do something else with your life. Don't touch her anymore. If you guys have started and you're even trying to already put it in and she says, no, don't touch me again. Just stop. And she's pushing you around and trashing you or something. Please, for your sake, stop. I understand that you're only at this point. I understand that you are high in the mood and whatever. But for your own sake, please stop. If she's your friend, you guys have done it before, and then she comes over to your house again and she's wearing panties and moving around and she tells you, don't touch me, please, for your sake, do not touch her. And I keep saying for your sake, for your sanity, so that you do not feel guilty, so that you do not need to go through the rest of your life trying to weigh every decision you made and look at it like, did I ever wrong that girl? So that she doesn't guilt trip you, so that you don't end up being dragged on Twitter, so that you don't get to one political position one day and some girl is bringing out some stupid WhatsApp chats from years ago to blast you. Please stop. It's not worth it. And for women, I have some policies that I live by, and sometimes it's extreme, I agree. But sometimes this has saved me for the past few years from heartache, from pain, and from being molested. So there were some years in my life when after school I was just going around. A couple of my friends touched me inappropriately, said some inappropriate things to me. I would go out with someone for a drink, and in the middle of the night in the car, the person's trying to grope me. I didn't want to be groped, but I was in the car already, and I was groped. And I didn't quite like it, because when I was 16, I was raped by 3 guys. And the pain is ever fresh in my mind. Throughout this podcast, I've been tapping my feet. And my voice is actually not how my voice should be, because it's heavy with some form of crying. I remember being raped at 16. I remember the pain. I remember the worthlessness. I remember the shame. I remember it to this day because I still feel those things. And then going through life, my friends are still groping me. I still go somewhere and someone still does some things to me that I do not want to be to do. People say some things to me that I do not want to be said to me. I go to places that I can't get out of those situations, and I have to do what some person tells me to do because I'm there already. So I told myself, why does this thing happen to me? Why does this thing happen to women? And then I analyzed it to the fact that so many men are just animals. So many men just do not know when they are wrong. So many men have not been taught to know what is wrong or what is right. It's not my job to teach everybody. I can't teach some people. I can tell some people that you do not do that. I cannot teach everybody, but I can protect myself from them. I can make sure that it does not happen to me again. I can make sure that I do not put myself in a situation where this continues to happen to me. And that's the purpose of this podcast, basically. How do we protect ourselves? How do we make sure that these things do not keep happening to us? I was reading a tweet today, and never ever is it okay to say that it's a woman's fault that she was raped. It's not. The guy is just sick. But I was reading a tweet today, and then the girl was talking about how her house was hot, there was heat in her house, and she just wanted to go to the guy's place too, because there was heat in the house, and then the guy had food and was going to pay for the cab. You know, it was just a very easy thing for the guy, because he was going to give her all these things. But the guy is an animal. The auntie had a normal brain. She just wanted a place to chill and be okay for the weekend. Some of us want that sometimes. Right now, my house is hot. But please, I'm begging you, don't go somewhere that you're not 100% sure you're safe at because you are hot, or because you are hungry, or because you want to watch Netflix, or because you want to have a bottle of drink, or because you want to hang out. Please do not do that to yourself. It's never ever worth it. Sometimes you don't have everything you need. Sometimes someone else's house is more comfortable than yours. But please do not go there because you want to eat, or because you want to drink, or because you lack something in your own place. Don't do that to yourself. You're a queen. If there's eat tonight, tomorrow morning there'll be breeze. If you can't have that meal that you want today, you can have it tomorrow. You can work towards it and have it next month. You can have it later. It doesn't have to be today. Please do not go there because of free trips. Don't go out with guys because of free trips. Don't go out with a guy saying, oh, he's just going to go and buy me stuff in ShopRite. And at the end of the day, the guy is thinking, like, can we stop over at my house and then get something? I have a few drinks you've not had before in the fridge. Come and taste them and you go in. Please don't do that. If you do not trust someone 100%, someone who has proved beyond reasonable doubt that he is trustworthy, please do not go out with him. I have a few friends that I don't visit, and I've stopped them from visiting me. In fact, there's a friend of mine I don't even open the door for because his play is very, very inappropriate for my soul. And he knows this. He's probably going to listen to this and he's going to know I'm referring to him. So I can tell you boldly that if the whole world is crashing, I'd rather go and sleep in my office building than go to his house. Do you understand? Like, I'd rather sleep at one old auntie's place than go to his place to crash, even if his house is the most comfortable place in Lagos. I hope you're getting my analogy. I wouldn't wake up one day and say, oh, I feel like drinking. What's up? I don't have money. Can you take me out and then buy me shayu? I won't do that. I'm not a decent person, mind you, but I am very, very cautious. It's not always the best way to go, but like I said when I started this, you cannot teach everybody to know what is right and what is wrong, but you can always protect yourself. I can tell you, while recording this in the middle of this whole thing, I realized that for like 10 years of my life, I have not been groped, I have not been touched inappropriately, I have not been molested, I have not been talked to in a rude manner by men, I have not been accosted by idiots and who will just tell you, see as you be, you understand, trying to touch you inappropriately and stuff. For the past 10 years of my life, it hasn't happened to me. And all I did was change my mindset from the men are the problem and they have to deal with their problem too. Yes, they are the problem, but what can I do to protect myself? What can I do to make sure that this does not happen to me again? Because it's not a fun experience. So I'm just telling you, be fine with what you have for now. It will definitely get better. Don't go somewhere because you want to just have free drinks. Don't go for free food. Don't go for whatever. I mean, if it's possible, if you're listening to this podcast and you're having issues with things like that, maybe sometimes you don't have everything you need, just try to get online friends, You can, I don't know if it's possible for you, but you can chat with me, we can be your friend. I can teach you some cocktails you can make at home. Feel fly, do stuff in your own house, be okay by yourself. A lot of things you can do to make yourself okay when you're on your own. And recently I was having a talk with someone who says, oh, you don't have a lot of fun, you're always by yourself, blah blah blah, this is that. I agree, yeah, but this is Lagos. I don't go out with people I don't trust. I don't drink outside my home because I can't expect every man to be taught right. I'm going to try my best to teach everyone I come across. I talk to my brother, he knows the right thing, he knows the wrong thing. I talk to my friends, family, people I can tell, you don't do this to a woman, you don't do that to a woman. But what about the other men out there who don't even know where the grey areas are, who don't even know what is rape, what is consent and everything? I hope they get to listen to this and then they learn from it. But pending that time, please, queens, don't put your crowns on the ground for a little pleasure. Don't put your crowns in the trash can because you want to have drinks and party. Do not sell yourself short. Do not do that, please. Because once it's gone from you, you can't take it back. And it's beyond just sex. It's your power, it's your pride, it's your body. You should tell when you need pleasure and have it when you need it. When you need it, not when someone else is asking you to give it up. I hope I've been able to help. I don't know. Thank you.